So let me get the link out to everybody. Yep, I think we got 5th and 6th in the race, but I think it's realistically going to be 6th and 7th. Just a heads up.
Why
Because Will was getting hit from behind like a couple times under the safety car, so he fell way back in the order. Does that make sense? Well, we can talk about it after.
Yeah, well.
We still did it good today.
It is what it is, yeah. Oh my god.
Alright, so let's see. Entering people. What is going on track at the moment? So we have Adri on pole. Steinmeier crossing the line. He puts it in 8th. VRL Stroll.
Blistering 108.6.
What do you think about that lap from Adri?
That's fast.
That's fast, right? We're going to have to go on board with Adri to see where he's getting all this speed. It's unbelievable.
I want to know what cheat codes he's using. I need him next week.
Yeah, I need that Game Shark. So what is happening? Jer's starting a hot lap. Let's go on board with Jer. It's no secret this guy has the pace to fight for the pole. Renee just ahead of him gets out of the way, so heads up driving from Renee. Jer in the Ferrari today. Let's go Team Ferrari.
That's right, Team Red.
Let's go.
Still trying to struggle and maintain our dominance in Tier 1.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough fight across all tiers, so it's going to be an exciting battle to watch throughout the season. Jer just went fastest in Sector 2, so Jer is on a really, really good lap. But shout out to FaZe as well, FaZe Bass, because he's only a few tenths behind Adri. Renee is not far back either. Jer on top. Wow, so that's Paul. You just seeing what it takes
to
put it in the 108s. Unbelievable lap from Jer.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And I think this is his first run, or maybe his second run, but he'll have time to do another one. So let's see, who else do we have? FLR crossing the line. He's starting his hot lap. Looks like there is a Racing Point of Adri starting his hot lap behind him. And then you have McLaren's Cody Lewis starting his lap. So, talk to us about the circuit, T-Widow. What are the keys to the circuit?
Well, this is definitely one of those circuits that we like to call a rhythm track. It's very high-paced, fast corners. As long as you can flow through that rhythm and maintain that pace, you're going to come out on top.
Yeah, I agree with you there. This track is very much a flow track. You got to get in that groove. If you fall out of that groove, you're going to have to be really careful because you'll immediately come under attack from the cars behind. At the same time, letting the guys ahead drive away into the distance. So you got to be laser focused here. Not a whole lot of room for margin for error here, so to speak. You got to be really careful. You got to be really measured with your overtakes. It's going to be an exciting battle because if we look at the grid as it stands right now, not a whole lot of time between the drivers. I think Kubali, he set his time with the sauce, but he's going out there for a set of mediums. Not sure exactly what he's playing at there. I don't know if he's going to do better than his time on the softs on the mediums. Unless he set that time on the mediums.
Another thing that you're going to have to pay very, very close attention to is at the start of the race, turn 1 into the first portion of the first sector.
Yeah.
It's a bunch up area for the cars.
It tightens
There's
up.
Be a lot of mayhem. you're going to have to give room and make it through the first lap.
Yeah, but that's what us as the league has been saying, give room, take it easy lap one, but the reality is that clear air for P1 is what everyone's going to fight for, and they're not going to want to back down. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. I mean, the guys are clean drivers. They fight hard, but they fight fair. But at the same time, look for everyone to get the elbows out because no one's going to want to back down. Everyone wants to be in that clear air on lap one. So we'll see how that plays out. The other thing, too, is, though, turn one is actually pretty wide. I'm not 100% sure on this, but it feels like it's slightly banked. So a lot of space there for the cars to jockey for position and to see who's going to have the better ground for turn 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we'll see how that plays out. It's going to be really interesting to watch. So who is on a hot lap? Sejek coming into the pits.
Looks like FLR is in an outlap phase as well, so they may be, as well as Jair, they may be the next ones to start their hot laps.
And I think it's a Williams. FaZe Bass is starting his hot lap. So he's in 6th at the moment. But then Hubad Lee is also about... No, that's not Hubad Lee, it's MST. And he's just starting his lap.
FaZe gets a little squirrely.
Yeah, I'm on board with him now. Let's see what he can do in his first sector. We got the time... Yeah, he's losing traction in the rear.
Yeah,
I think he's pushing really hard.
Yeah.
So we're coming up to the end of Sector 1. He is up almost a tenth on his time already, though, as it stands. So even if he's made some errors, the track is ramping up considerably. He gets a touch of the dirt there, and I think he lost all that time, so he's going to back off.
Yeah.
Rusty's in the chat. What's up, Rusty? Rusty said, do you think anyone can beat that 108.6? And then the next message comment from Rusty is, wow, which must have been after Jair beat it by a little over a tenth.
3/10.
Yeah. So Hones is putting in a lap, so he's sitting at a 108.7. VRL Stroll, a new reserve today, doing awesome. So we have VRL Stroll, who else? Cody Lewis, and I thought there was another one. But those are 2 new reserves today. They're race tested, race approved, ready to go. So really excited to see how they do. VRL Stroll already. He's showing everybody his hand here because he's 4th place in his first qualifying against some of the best around, performance racing. I think that's pretty impressive. All right, so let's see who is coming out. Looks like Cody Lewis is starting the hot lap. Steinmine saying that his setup is a little too aggressive. His left front is overheating. The reality, though, Steinmine, is that everyone's left front is going to be overheating here. So you have to just be careful in the right-hand sweeping corners that you don't push that left front too hard. So who is...
I'm on board with Cali right now.
Adri jumped straight into the pits. Adri didn't finish a hot lap. I wonder what happened there.
5 minutes left, so he
yeah,
can still come out for another
he's
run.
got time. So Renee just put in the fastest sector 3. But he's backing up. Not sure what happened. Oh, he must have already put in a lap. So Renee, he did improve into the 108s, 108.976.
Going on board with Dace.
Yeah, let's check in with Dace. He's on a hot lap here. Dace, who's sitting in 3rd in the championship, I believe. So showing really great consistency. Yeah, so second in the championship, though, today is Steinzap. And today he will not be with us on the grid, so...
I noticed that.
Yeah. So he needs to take some personal time. So we wish him well. We miss him here on the grid. Probably fall back a bit in the championship fight, but
Nothing he can't make up for.
Yeah, he'll fight hard in the next races. So Dace is going to cross the line.
And not improve.
I don't think he did. And now in the gravel. Yeah.
Into the gravel.
He was probably looking at his MFB for a second. Oh, he also had a Mercedes behind him. So who is next to cross?
I don't know if he's on a hot lap or...
Yeah, so Sajek, I think, had already invalidated, so he's just trying to start another lap here. But he's used up almost all of his ERS.
Yeah.
I think he's going to bring it back into the pits.
Probably so.
Yeah, he'll have some time to do another run.
Yep. So 2 minutes and 50 seconds before the start of the race. Let's see if anybody can switch up the order here.
Yeah, well, the margins are very tight. Adri has improved, but so too has Jer. Hones is right behind him, and behind him, BRL Stroll, Renee, Dace, FaZe Bass, Kachow, Cali Rob, FLR, Hubali. All of these guys are so close on pace. It really is going to be something to watch in the race.
And also, too, I don't know if this is the same for you, but it looks like Military Shadow has not put in a time.
You're right. He has not. So, I'm not sure exactly what is happening with Military Shadow. He may be opting just to start from the back, put on a set of hard tires, and see how long he can take it. So Adri is... I think all the guys are about to start their final hot laps.
Yep.
So Mad Dash to cross the line before time completely runs out.
1 minute, 20 seconds.
Yeah, ideally you want to cross the line sometime after 108. So that when you cross the line in your hot lap, you're done.
Yeah.
I think Adri was probably a little bit early here. But let's see what he can do. MST Sport's going to cross the line, but he's invalidated. So Hubali and MST giving each other the slipstream a bit. I'm not sure how that's going to work out for Mercedes.
Yeah, interesting strategy.
And then we have, who is that?
We have a pile up. It looks like everybody's, backing up to start their hot laps.
Yeah.
On board with FaZe.
Jared started his hot lap. It looks like everyone is starting their hot lap.
Yeah, I'm following along with Adri right now.
Yeah, so Adri was the first of the last runners. We'll stay on board with Adri.
Can't wait to see that pink color change to a nice Aston green.
It's going to look really nice, although I will miss these pink cars, but it was time for a change.
Yeah.
So Adri coming around the final corner, the banked corner. And he improved, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. MST crossing the line. He improves with 108.9. So he definitely improves. Hubali had to back off. Not sure what happened.
What's the issue with that?
He must have broke loose or been down on his time. Owens, who was that crossing the line?
Oh, Jer.
Yeah, that was Jer. That was Jer crossing the line. Wow, almost into the 107. FaZe crossing the line. He doesn't improve, I don't believe. Steinmein's going to cross the line. He does improve to 108.8.
108.8.
Really great lap. Yeah, and both Haas, I think they ran out of fuel or something. I'm not sure what's happening. Let's go on board with Renee. Renee's going to cross the line here. He does not improve. Not sure what happened.
Yeah.
No. So I think that just leaves Adri. I'll be right back while this finishes up. Keep it up.
Yeah, yep. So that's going to seal it in. Let's take a look at our lineup here. We have Jer in P1, P2 Adri, P3 we have Hones, P4 VRL Stroll, P5 Steinman, P6 is Renko, 7th is MST Sport, 8th Phase, 9th Dace, 10th Kachow, and that is your top 10. Starting off the bottom 10, Cali Rob in P11, P12 is FLR, P13 is Hubali, P14 is Cody. We have Sezejek in 15th.
Yeah, I wonder how this is all going to play out. Cali Rob down there in 11th, so yeah, it seems a little odd to see Cali Rob way down there in the order, but I wonder if that's also part of his strategy.
I don't know. When you have these top guys as quick as this,
it's so tight, the field too.
Minor details. That's if you can improve on those little areas, you will come out on top when it comes to this league. So throw me a prediction. Who's going to win this race?
Man, if I told you something, I'd be lying because I have absolutely no idea. What I'm going to do is just watch it very closely, and I'm going to be on the edge of my seat. I got my coffee ready. I got my ice packs ready. And for now we'll have a chance to actually decompress and watch the race after some crazy racing in our Tier 1 race.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Cali Rob, look for him to make up positions. Look for Kachow to make up positions. I think Steinmeier can always be quick. Not 100% what's going to happen though.
I really think that if Ren can get settled into position, not try to force any overtakes, it could make, he could make today his day. As it's great to see the drivers being respectful and giving people time. And as I say that, somebody has started the race.
Yeah, we gave him a go-ahead. So,
yep.
You guys doing well? Just chill out a bit. Get the strategy set, sorted, and now we'll get going to the race, starting with the formation lap.
So definitely be on the lookout for carnage in the first couple of corners. I do believe that that's probably what's going to happen.
I hope not.
I hope not either. I want to see some good, clean fighting. But, just the nature of racing. As the drivers start their...
Yeah, so let's do a quick rundown again. Yeah, let's do a quick rundown of the order. So in P1 we got Jer showing incredible pace, and he's coming off the back. I believe it was a win last round. Yeah, it was Jer and Adri 1 and 2 at China. So coming off the back of an awesome performance. So look for him to be going incredibly quick here today, almost breaking into the 107s. Behind him, we have Adri in the Racing Point. Adri, and he was P2 last race, so he's going to try to take the fight to Jer. We'll monitor that in the race. Behind him, we have Honesy. It's always great to have Honesy joining us for the race here. Joining us on the grid. He's representing Team Ferrari, so he's in third. In fourth, we have BRL Stroll on the second row in that Red Bull. So a new reserve. Has been asking for an opportunity to race. The opportunity has come, so now he's on the grid, so we'll be excited to see what he can do. Behind him is teammate Steinmeier. So Steinmeier, one of our most consistent, most improved drivers. Look for him to take the fight for a potential podium here today. He's always quick. Behind him, Renee. Renee's always dangerous, always dangerous. So he might be in sixth in the third row, but it's not that far behind. So look for him to take the fight to the podium. MSC, of course, is lightning quick. Doesn't matter where he starts. So he's going to be another one to watch. FaZe Bass, top 10 in the qualifying. Not bad. Same thing with Dace. I think Dace probably didn't put in his best lap, but he'll have a long, what is the race, 45, 50 minutes? He'll have plenty of time to try to make up some positions. 10th, we got Kachao. 11th, we got Cali Rob. So Cali Rob is going to go long. He's starting on the hard tires. FLR behind him on the mediums. Hubali on the softs. I don't think Hubali was able to set a clean lap, unfortunately. Then we have Cody Lewis on the mediums, Sasedic on the mediums, and Will Butler on the mediums. Not sure what happened to Military Shadow, but
I actually like this strategy Cali Rob's going with, starting on the hard tire and then going to soft at the end.
I agree.
And it's time, guys.
It's
Here we
time.
are in the start. 2, 3, 4.
Round 5 at Zandvoort.
Lights.
And they're
Here
off.
we go.
And they're off. Round 5. Zandvoort has begun.
Yep.
Who's got a
Looks
better
like
job?
Jared gets an excellent start.
Yeah, he does. 3 wide into turn 1. The Renault, the Mercedes, and the Red Bull. It looks like there's a Haas in the gravel. I think he recovered it nicely, so he's still going.
And it looks like everybody's going to get away fairly easily.
Yeah, Military Shadow is out. I'm not sure what happened. I think it was just AFK. So a lot of action. Hubali is trying to make a move on Kachao. It looks like FaZe fell back from 8th now to 11th. Renee fell back a couple of spots. Dace picking up a couple of spots. Oh, and Dace got up on that curb.
Oh, no.
And the curb just ate him up.
It's going to cost him big.
Yeah, so now he's at the back of the pack. The guy's locking up into this chicane.
Who was that?
I think that is Hubali. Hubali, he went a little too hot into that chicane.
Yep.
He drifted across in there.
See, W. Butler is right on the tailpipe of FaZe.
Yeah, so let's stay on board with Will B. W. Butler. So Jaron Adri starting to pull away a little bit from Hones.
Cody Lewis looking around the outside. FLR doesn't.
Oh, and Will got a little squirrely. And Hubali's trying to make the move. Oh, and Will.
Oh, into the wall.
Yeah, I don't think he can blame anyone else for that one but himself, unfortunately. So the predicted pit stop strategy is coming up on the screen. As you can see, looks like a soft to hard one stop is what we're likely to see from everybody here.
Yeah. And it looks like the closest battle at the moment is VRL on Hones.
Yeah, so let's go on board with VRL. VRL is really trying to show everybody what he can do today on the track with a really great qualifying session. And he's right on the back of Hones. So Jer setting the pace, fastest lap, 1:11.949. And it looks like FLR is out. Yeah, he's out.
That's hard to see.
Oh, that's really tough.
5-second penalty collision with Cody Lewis.
Not sure what happened there.
We do have a virtual safety car out.
Yeah, VSC. So this is a VSC. Wow, let's take a little breather. That was pretty crazy, man. The intensity of this tier is I can barely keep my breath, you know, as I'm watching them. They're so fast.
Well, it's hard enough to, you know, stay on top of every piece of action.
Yeah. The guys the way they navigate, the way they drive and they race, it's just, you can see why these guys are the premier tier. It's like they're operating on a completely different level. It's just incredibly quick. So the decision making has to be that much faster. Your commitment to the corner has to be that much stronger. What is Cedric doing?
What's going on?
He just hit the back of Cody again, it looks like.
Oh,
So now he's lost the wing.
Doesn't look like... Does he?
I believe...
Is it an end plate?
An end plate. He lost the left front end plate.
Yeah, left end plate.
That was a really sloppy move from Cedric.
Oh, no.
Thankfully for his... Yeah, and he already has a penalty for hitting the back of Cody, so... He's got to be careful.
I mean, you can do this without the end plate. It's real tough.
You sound like you're speaking from experience.
Experience is what I am speaking from.
Yeah.
And right now I'm on board with Steinmine as he is all over the backside of VRL.
Yeah, and I'm on board. I was on board with Adrian, but let's go now to Steinmine.
And they are teammates.
Yeah, so I wonder what the move here is. I wonder if they're on the team radio trying to make the case of why he should be let through or not be let through.
Absolutely. Sometimes the race is for the team, and you have to get in that mindset.
Yeah, to score the most points. But meanwhile, while they're bumpering around trying to figure it out, MST's closing up on him behind. And now, look, Cali Rob's making a move on Cedric. Oh, it's Cedric. That was another, I think that was a sloppy move from Cedric again.
Yep.
Cali Rob held his line. No, he's not. I think he's just a little jumpy today. Yeah. Unfortunate for Cedric, but Cali Rob had the car ahead, and he didn't back down.
Forward, and it looks like he's going to try to make a move going into the turn one.
I think he's going to be too far back. Yeah, I think he's a little too far back, but you can see that he's trying to figure out the move now, right? He's trying to. I think the trick is to stay really, really close with the driver ahead.
Absolutely.
I mean, as close as possible, and then get the best slipstream you can. And VRL Stroll gets loose.
VRL, that's going to cost him. And speaking on that,
yeah,
the best
and Renee.
For MS.
Renee wanted to pounce too, but he couldn't quite make the move in time. So Renee, he's still in 7th. That moves Steinman up to 4th, MST up to 5th. Man, that was a tough moment for Stroll, huh?
Yeah. And speaking on which, the best thing for this track is to let the person in front of you use up all of their ERS. This track is not known for regaining ERS.
Very tough to regenerate the battery here.
Sport looking real tidy. Oh, he gets a little loose.
I'm on board with Renee just behind. Renee is a little bit closer to VRL. He might be able to make a move here. Renee might be able to make a move here.
Oh, and he goes down the inside.
Yeah, Stroll leaves him room. But what's going to happen here? Stroll holds on.
Better exit.
Yeah. So really, really great driving from Stroll. I mean, you can't really ask for much more than that. Stroll said, okay, you want to take a dive? I'll leave you the room. You leave me the room, and may the better man win. And he was able to put the power down a little bit better on the exit.
Absolutely.
Fair play to Stroll. Yeah, really, really great driving from Stroll. So what do you see developing as we speak at the moment?
Well, as we're, maintaining an eye on this little battle going on between 5 and 7,
yeah,
you can notice that Adri is keeping a gap to Jair.
Yeah, he is. Now, is he being strategic there? Let's go on board with him really quickly. And it looks like he is being strategic there, but he does have the DRS. Is he going to be able to make a move?
He's going to show him the...
Not quite close enough. But it looks like MST has made the move on... Yeah, MST made the move on Steinmine, and Renee defending against Stroll, so Renee stays ahead, but MST does move ahead of Steinmine, so that's MST into 4th.
Well, if you notice, MST sat there and waited for his chance, and
He did.
You notice Steinmine's light was flashing.
Yeah.
We all know what that means.
Yep. Now, to be fair to Steinmine, MST also is out, but doesn't matter now because now he's ahead, right? And now they'll both need to regenerate the battery. So,
Yep.
nicely played by MST. You can see that he was thinking about that one. It wasn't just, let me just drive fast and go for it. A lot of thought. It's almost like a game of chess that's being played with the ERS deployment.
Absolutely.
So let's see what's happening. It looks like Adri's really close to Jer. Really tight race between these guys for the lead today. Jer getting all the way out on that curb. I'm watching the rest of these deltas to make sure I don't miss anything. It looks like Adri is going to be able to have a move here.
Oh, he's going to look down the inside.
So what's going to happen? They got to leave each other the room, and they do.
Yep. Oh.
Adri has the positioning. I think Jer conceded the position and backed off slightly.
Yeah.
He didn't want to get that.
Jer's wing got a little.
It was about to get. Yeah, it looks like it was about to get clipped off.
Oh.
So incredible battle for the incredible battle for the lead here. The guys are just flying.
I'm telling you, when you get in rhythm on this track, you fly.
Yeah, you really do. It's just all about putting that car on that right trajectory that it's kind of hard to quantify. You just have to get into that groove, so to speak.
Yeah.
But when you get in it, when you take these corners just right, as difficult as the circuit is, the circuit will also, if you take the corner just right, it'll spit you out at that exit and it'll launch you out to get great exits. Cody Lewis picking up a time penalty. That's our first 3-second time penalty for track limits of the day. Let's check in with Kachow. Kachow is in 8th at the moment, and as Stroll locks up, so Kachow is going to have the DRS. I think Stroll will have the DRS as well, but Kachow's got a great run. I think he's going to be able to make a move.
Exit. Yep. Going down the inside.
Yeah.
VRL Stroll.
And there he goes. Now, can he get the job done here? Can he make it stick? Oh, that's going to be tight. That's going to be tight. Yeah. And Stroll does concede the position.
Yep. And that's going to give FaZe an opportunity to stick with it.
And Hubali fell back. Hubali lost 2 spots to Dace and Kalirov. Oh, and Hubali is getting really squirrely at the moment. I think his tires are starting to go. He's been pushing really hard. So let's go back to this battle for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Because we've got FaZe Boss, 3 tenths, 4 tenths behind BRL Stroll, who's a few tenths behind Kachow, and behind them we have, I guess, Cody Lewis, who he fell back actually. I'm not sure what happened there. So I'm going to go back up to FaZe Boss. This is the battle for P8 at the moment, but just ahead of them is Kachow in P7. And Kachow was falling about a second back of Renee. Let's go up to Jer, actually. I think Jer is going to be able to make a move. Not quite. So he hangs back, not able to make the move into turn 1. Dace picking up a time penalty.
Yep.
Renee was trying to make a move. FaZe Boss is trying to make a move. So no one's able to make a move down that straight. Hubali into the pits, so he must be suffering with really bad degradation of the tires. So far we do have 1 DNF of the day. That's FOR. He broke loose, I believe, on the exit of the banked corner. And Military Shadow, who wasn't able to join us today for whatever reason. I think he was away from his console and it just disqualified him. So what do you see going on at the moment, Thibodeau?
Well, right now I am on board with Renko, who's trying to close the distance into Steinmine.
Yeah.
And really it's all about setting up that gap for the penultimate corner and into the straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Going into the first.
Exactly. So we'll see. Steinmine just ahead is fully out of ERS.
And into the pits, Steinmine.
So Steinmine in the pits. Steinmine in the pits.
And Jer into the pits. He's going to go for the undercut, it looks like.
He is. He wasn't able to get ahead, so he said, F it, let me just get onto the hard tire now. And he will try then.
Idea.
Yeah, he'll try to go as fast as possible with that fresh rubber and try to go faster than Adri is going at the moment with the old rubber, so that when Adri pits, the idea is that he'll come out behind Jer. We'll see how that plays out, though. Can he get that undercut done?
I'm wondering if Steinman had a little bit of wing damage because he lost. It looks like he lost a good bit of time there.
It's possible.
Oh, and Ringo touches the inside corner and loses some time.
But now he's under attack from Kachow. So what can Kachow do? Renee, I think, will have lost the slipstream. We didn't catch
I
that.
believe that they need to rename that corner into the Widowmaker.
Named after you.
Yeah.
We should rename that corner the Groceries. Kachow into the pits. Kachow into the pits. So
And
the pressure's
Ringo
off Renee
and
now.
Holmes
Yeah.
Going one extra lap.
I think this is the original target laps for soft to hard. So they're still on plan A. The guys behind them went to plan B. They're feeling that they were being held up. And yeah, fair play. So that's MST, Kachow, Stroll, Phase Pass, Dace.
Is
All the
right
bits.
on the backside of Adri. So his undercut attempt didn't work, but they are close.
Yeah, so you can see that Jer, like T. Widow mentioned, has not come out ahead of Adri, but it was very, very close. It was worth a try. So this puts Adri with the advantage, a slight, minuscule advantage towards the end of the race on slightly fresher rubber. I don't think that's going to have any real significance, maybe a fraction of a tenth. Otherwise, the guys will easily be able to make it to the end of the race on these tires.
Yeah.
But you can see the way Adri takes that chicane, leaving absolutely no room on the table. He's just about launching over that curb, using as much of the track as possible, and that's why it's so difficult.
5-second speeding and the pit lane penalty.
Tough for Holmes, but yeah, you can see that's why it's so difficult for Jared to try to get ahead of Adri. And what you're seeing right now is actually the effect of what the clear air can do. Who's ever got the clear has got the best downforce. They're wasting their tires less. I think it's just better all around for the car. You're going to get slightly better performance. So that's why the guys are fighting so hard to be in first place through the first corner, because of the clear air advantage. Grumpy is in the house. What's up, Grumpy? What do you see about Jared, Thibodeau?
Jared is just, it looks like Jared's just falling back significantly now.
I think he's still there. I think he's still there. Now, I don't know what engine modes they're in. He may be putting the car in lean a little bit to save here and there. He may have underfueled the car. I don't think he's falling back in terms of his pace.
I think that dirty air is probably playing with the car a little bit.
And it probably is. The other thing, too, is that first lap or so on these hard tires, until they fully get up to temperature, but it's hard to get them up to temperature when the car's sliding around.
Yeah.
And again, there, the car's sliding around and losing touch a little bit with Adri. So let's check in with some other people.
Callie Robb is actually on the backside of Cody Lewis.
Yeah,
Cody Lewis on the medium tire and Callie on the hard.
So Callie Robb has not pit yet today.
Yeah.
Callie Robb?
Oh, no, he hasn't.
No, he started on the hard tires.
Yeah,
he started on the hard tires. So Callie Robb going long. His strategy, we'll see how that plays out, but so far I think he's been doing pretty well with that strategy. He's 3/10 behind Cody. Cody, who hasn't pit either, so he's still on his original set of mediums.
Not much changing at the moment. Everybody pretty much,
in their
settling
positions.
into place.
Yeah. But you can see
making the fastest lap.
So that's what I'm saying, is that Adri just got the fastest lap, but then as soon as Jared crossed the line behind him, he got the fastest lap. Now,
and it looks like Callie Robb's going to go down the inside of Holmes.
No, that is the inside of Cody Lewis, and he gets the job done. So fair play to both drivers, giving each other just enough room.
Oh, and they make contact, I think. Little bump.
Okay, I'm on board with Renee. Renee is behind MST, trying to do something here. They both come in for pit stops. Renee ended up going in for the mediums, though. That's going to be tough. they're going to last, but he's probably going to be in somewhere around 70 to 80% wear at the end of the race. So it's not going to be easy.
And if there's a safety car too.
Yeah, if there's a safety car.
Might not play off.
But to be fair, if there is a safety car, then he can jump onto the softs later.
And Cody Lewis is off the track and into the wall.
I missed that one. I didn't see what happened. I saw it up in the distance, but
loose.
Was there contact?
No contact. He broke
okay.
loose.
Unfortunate for Cody Lewis. Yeah, he's broken a wing. He's going to want to come in. He was having a pretty damn good race, though, but unfortunately those tires really starting to go, those mediums. So let's check in with Renee.
Only 15.
Renee is trying to make a move on MST. MST giving him the room. MST giving him the room and probably the finger, but he did get around. Kachow picking up a time penalty for track limits. So who's got penalties so far? So it looks like Hones has got speeding in the pits penalty. Kachow 3 seconds. Dace 3 seconds. Cody 3 seconds. And Sasedic 5 seconds for causing contact into the safety car.
Yeah.
So what are the deltas? Oh, and Kachow breaks loose. This may be a VSC. I don't know. It'll be cleared up. But he's broken his wing.
What happened?
Well, Kachow, the downhill fast right-hander. I mean, you're basically doing that thing flat out. He had a little bit of the back loose, the back of the car breaking loose. He tried to countersteer. As soon as he countersteered, the car gripped up again, and it snapped on him. He tried to recover it, and then it was just all downhill from there. Very unfortunate from Kachow. Kachow, pound for pound, is one of the best racers out there, and now he's way down in the order on what he was supposed to go for the rest of the race on, but now he's compromised, and he's most likely going to have to come in again. Really tough break for Kachow.
And another surprising factor is that a VSC did not form.
No VSC, I guess just because he was able to get the car turned around pretty quickly.
It looks like Jair's only 3/10 back.
And Kachow's out.
Yep. Tough day for Kachow.
Yeah, tough day for Kachow. Again, pound for pound, one of the best out there. So I'm sure he'll bounce back for the next one.
Another battle that's starting to form to keep an eye out for. Steinman coming up on the back of Cali Rob.
Yeah, let's check in with Steinman, because I was on board with the FaZe Boss. It looks like FaZe Boss and VRL stroll on very similar pace. I don't see anyone making a move quite just yet. So let's go on board
Steinman
then.
Struggling with ERS today.
But to be fair, I think everyone is, right? Again, like we mentioned, this is one of those circuits where you use it because you feel like you need it, and then you're thinking, I'm going to use some now, and then I won't use it for a few laps, and it'll regenerate itself. But it takes a long time to regenerate the battery here.
Well, he's on 0% at the moment, and I do believe the way that light's flashing is probably what.
Yeah, but
his ERS is probably charging the light at the moment.
And Dace and Steinmine having to fight a little bit of contact, but Dace stays ahead. Or that's Cali Rob, rather. Excuse me. So Cali Rob was not wanting to have Steinmine get past. Yeah.
Come into the fold here.
So what does Renee do here? Does he attack? Does he hang back and try to make his tires last? I think it's going to be really interesting to watch. It's almost like the master class in racing on racecraft and strategy.
The best thing for Ren to do right now is to let his ERS build, stay on the back of Steinmine, and he might be able to pull a Cooper out of this.
True, but also in terms of saving the tires, he needs to get ahead of these guys if possible, because the clear air will be better for him instead of sliding around in the dirty air.
With Renko on the dominant tire.
He needs to utilize that and get past these guys. You can see he's got better grip here. So let's see who's got the move here. It looks like Steinmine should be able to make a move. I think Renee, it's possible he can get by.
Steinmine
no.
Going down the inside of Cali Rob.
Yeah, I'm on board with Renee, so we got a vantage point just behind them. Steinmine.
He's going to try to slip down the inside.
It was he tried it, but Steinmine is passed, so that's Steinmine into fourth, Cali Rob fifth, and Renee just behind in sixth. So FaZe Boss is still, it looks like, a second or so behind Stroll. That's the battle for P8. Let's go up a little bit to Jer. Jer is desperately trying to seek or close the gap down to Adri, who's just ahead, 6-7 tenths ahead.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go back to Renee, because Renee,
Oh! Cali Rob was a little bit wide, but Renee gets a little sideways,
he
and
put
that's going to bring MST
into the fold. Yeah, MST now is going to try to move.
Oh, it's a difficult corner.
Oh, and a little bit of contact. A little bit of contact. I think that's okay though. The guys are just getting the elbows out. I think they give each other, with all things considered, some room there, which is great to see. Definitely don't want to see two of the cars at DNF there.
That caused Ren a lot of time.
It did. But at the same time, unfortunately, he's got no one else to blame but himself, because he's the one that put that tire on the curb. It's so dangerous, these curbs. They're so tall, these curbs. They're almost like speed bumps.
Yeah.
It just completely pulls your car. But I think Renee should be able to claw back that time. But that's the thing about these tires. You're using them up so much to claw the time, and then you just made negative progress. You don't get to get that tire life back again after that. So now he'll have to do it again and try to mount another attack. But MST is just behind him.
Renko has to be thinking, I have to do something. These tires are not going to last.
Not if he's pushing like that, I don't think. I don't think so. So who's broke loose? I think that was Will letting the guys by. Yeah, so Adri and Jer lapping the first car of the day. I think that was them lapping Will Butler. So what are the gaps at the moment? There is a yellow in Sector 1. I think that is Will. Unfortunately, he's having a really, really tough day today. We're still on board with MST. One of the closest battles on track at the moment.
Yep.
So who's up in the chat? Yo, T-Widow, Grumpy said that your mic is a little quiet. You want to turn up your mic volume real quick?
Yeah, is that a little bit better?
Oh, that's much better. Okay. So what is developing in this race at the moment? It looks like everyone is on the tires that they're going to finish the race on. Renee, it's going to be really tough for him to finish on those set of mediums, but I think he should be able to do it. But that means he's going to be under attack from MST. I mean, he already is under attack, but once those tires start to fade, that's going to give MST the advantage in the end.
Checking in with Jared for just a second, I wanted to see if my notion was correct. I do believe that Jared is building ERS and maintaining his time until the right time to strike at the end.
But look at Adri's car as well. Adri is not that far behind him in terms of his ERS charge. You can see it on the steering wheel. And it looks like Cody Lewis has had a moment. He's spun.
Ren has finally started to close that gap into Cali Rob again.
Yeah, so he's clawed back some more time to Cali Rob. Yep, and he's got much better traction at the moment than Cali Rob. He places the car on the inside. That's going to give Cali Rob the advantage in the next corner. A little bit of a touch. Renee trying to switch a switch back here. He's going to have the DRS. I don't know if he's going to have good enough traction to make the move here.
No, definitely not, but MST Sport's going to say, I'm going down the inside.
MST thinks the better of it. I think that's a wise move from MST. Oh, and it looks like Renee got a little squirrely out of that corner. So who's going to get the better drive? Cali Rob gets a decent exit, but Renee gets a better one. So you can see we're on board with MST. You can see the action just ahead. The guy's fighting it out in turn one. Cali Rob defending. Was able to hold MST back, but it was not able to hold off Renee. That's Renee into fifth. So now Cali Rob is under attack. So keep in mind here, and the guys are going side by side. Yeah, that was unfortunately, I feel like something that was always going to happen.
Yep.
It's so risky to try to be behind the car ahead and be on the inside
It
there.
would have been better just to back off.
It probably would have been better just to back off, but MST, I'm sure, will not want to hear that. Unfortunately, hindsight's 20/20, but that's going to cost MST a lot of time. But Cali Rob is someone who has not pit yet. So I think look for Cali Rob to make a stop any lap now for the soft tires.
Well, probably the thing that he's looking for is a safety car at the moment.
He is. He can keep going. Yeah, Grumpy's saying the same thing. Is he waiting for a safety car? It's possible, Grumpy.
But the gaps in the battles are just not there for that to happen. So he's probably just going to have to come in and pit.
I think he's going to pit this lap because this is in line with the recommended strategy, 12 and 24. So he's on lap 24 now.
So does he push it an extra lap in prayer for a safety car?
I mean, it's possible, but at that point, why not just get on the softs, which are much faster than the 25-lap-old hards?
Yeah.
You're going to lose way too much time otherwise. So what's happening with Adri and Jer? 3/10. I mean, there's absolutely nothing between them today.
Just the whole race.
It's been an incredible duel. The gaps between the other drivers starting to increase.
And it's quite shocking to me that Jer, with his DRS, has not been close enough to make a move. Even though he probably doesn't want to at this time. Ooh, and Jared touched the grass, got a little bit loose. He does manage to pick up DRS, though, to close the gap in a little bit to Adri. Renko picking up a 3-second time penalty. That's huge.
So Jared's still behind Adri, huh?
Yeah, he actually got a little bit into the grass and lost some time to him. And he almost lost the DRS.
Yeah, crucially, he's still within that second. But you can see he's pushing really, really hard, getting a little squirrely on the exits. And you can see right now, Adri is pushing incredibly hard to try to get Jared out of that DRS.
Yeah, and Jair trying to build that ERS up. He's using it a little bit coming out of the penultimate corner.
So now Cali Rob has pit, I believe, within the last lap or two. So now he's in 10th. But Jair just put it in the fastest lap. But look for Cali Rob is already starting to close the gap to MST ahead. It's possible we could see Cali Rob make moves on MST, Dace, and Face.
Got a nice little boost.
He did. If you take that corner right, it launches you out.
Yep.
But Adri's flying. I mean, you can see him ahead. It's like these guys are playing in fast forward. They're so fast.
Well, they just have another gear in their car.
Have another gear in their head. It's just faster than I can even fathom.
Yeah, I don't think my brain can process that fast.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's just my brain doesn't work that fast. But but a great battle still brewing here between Adri and Jer. Hones, credit to Hones. He's been consistently in P3 all day, and same thing with Steinmein. Now Steinmine is just ahead of Renee. Renee will have wanted to close that gap as Jared sets another fastest lap, so Jared does have the advantage as it stands at the moment. But yeah, Renee I think is going to start to fall back from Steinmine because Renee's on those medium tires that are going to start to go.
Oh, and another big boost from Jared coming out of that corner.
Yeah, the thing is, you can ride up the banking and then down it to get a little bit of like momentum going before you even get up back on the power.
Oh yeah.
If you do it correctly without losing too much time.
Definitely a carousel corner.
Yeah, 100%. So there's absolutely nothing between these guys. 2, 3, 4 tenths or so, just depending on their entries and exits into the corners. Let's check. What's that?
I was saying, and then you have the DRS keeping Jared.
Yeah. Keep it a minute.
Closer and closer.
Keep it a minute. Let's check in with some of the guys. Let's check in with Cali Rob. Cali Rob is now starting to close the gap to MST ahead. It was 3 seconds a lap ago. It's now 2 seconds. So he's starting to close the gap incredibly quickly to the hard tire runners ahead of him. Now they're on really old hard tires at this point, and they will be going to the end. So the advantage is definitely to Cali Rob's favor. Then we got Dace. Dace P3 in the championship. He's 1.9 seconds behind FaZe Boss. This is the battle for P7. And then it's BRL Stroll, his first race here at Performance Racing League. His debut as a reserve. Cali setting the fastest lap, so he's utilizing all of those soft tires. But BRL Stroll, first race as a reserve here at Performance Racing League, and he's doing an incredible job. 6th at the moment. He's been racing very clean, I think very smart, picking and choosing his battles, conceding when he needs to, showing a lot of intelligence in terms of the racing. I think he's been doing a great job. Cali Rob now about a second behind MST. Let's check in with him. Let's check in with Jer.
Yeah, just nothing going on right now at the moment except for P1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, Cali Rob is starting to close the gap to MST, but he's not quite there yet.
You know, it would have been very interesting to see if the safety car had come out, how well Cali Rob would have benefited from that.
Yeah, you figure he was in 4th, 5th or so? I think he was in 5th.
And that being said, Cali Rob does finally break past the 1 second mark.
Let's go on board with Cali Rob. I think Cali Rob is probably going to be the one that's most able to make an overtake here, considering it's so difficult to overtake here. But MST is doing incredibly well to push that car with these hard tires that just do not have the same grip as the softs. But somehow MST is doing an incredible job with those hard tires to stay ahead.
Yeah.
All credit to MST there. He is one hell of a driver, and it shows here.
And it's fantastic to see that he's finally paid his internet bill.
Yeah, MST looks like he finally paid his internet bill. They're no longer slowing down his speeds. MST has also been sleeping better. What happened?
Are you watching the battle?
With Cali Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sound like he had a heart attack.
No, it's the swerving.
Oh. I think he's far enough ahead that it doesn't matter. I think it's when the car is about to make a move that it, for me, is where the violation can occur. But for that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if anything, he was probably just trying to break the slipstream. But what can Cali Rob do? He's just not quite close enough. Now, as he's closing in on MST and trying to make a move, we have Dace who's now closed onto the back of FaZe. He's within a second. And who is that in a Haas? Has spun. I think that might be Will Butler. Jer is still in P2, not able to make the move. Let's check in with Dace. Dace.
I was gonna say, it looks like Cali Rob is pretty close now. 3/10, 2/10.
Yep. So MST makes his move.
Oh, they make a little bit of contact.
A little bit of contact. So Cedric getting a penalty as he jumps into the pits, speeding in the pit lane.
Oh!
Yeah, MST locks up. MST locks up. Cali Rob tries to put his car in a position to take advantage, but
look on the next straightaway, or at the beginning of the next lap for this overtake.
Yeah, it could even be on the back DRS straight into that back chicane. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm on board with Dace. Dace is really close to FaZe Bass now. FaZe Bass, who's had a great race. And Jer is so close to Adri. They're 2/10 apart now. Let's go back to FaZe Bass and Dace. Cody Lewis
with Kelly.
Okay, I'm on board with Dace. Let's see if Dace can make a move on this front straight. I think he's too far back. Let's check out Cali Rob. I think he too is also too far back.
Yeah, he is. I believe he made a mistake in the last lap.
Let's check in with
him a little bit of time.
Let's check in with Jarrett, because these guys are very close. I mean, they're within a couple tenths of each other.
That dirty air just playing havoc with the Ferrari.
Especially that penultimate corner, you need the downforce. And there's a safety car. There is a safety car.
Somebody's in the wall on the straight. Oh!
I don't.
And Jared jumps down into the
pits. I wonder why. I'm thinking
he's gonna go for the softs.
Yeah, he doesn't lose anything. He doesn't lose anything. People are so far behind him.
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
So will this force Adri to have to come in and pit for softs, which would concede the position to Jair?
I don't believe so. I wonder why there was
that Adri will come in.
No, because it's only one lap. I mean, they're gonna finish this lap and maybe one more, and then we're gonna do lap 36.
I believe somebody left the race. That's why we saw a safety car.
Yeah, he does have a gap. Grumpy said that he does have a gap, but he doesn't have the gap anymore, Grumpy. Look at that. So Jair's caught up already. So
this is very interesting. Does Adri jump into the pit for softs?
No, I don't think so. It's too late now.
I believe he should. I believe the tire difference alone is going to lose him this race if he doesn't.
But here's the thing. If Adri pits now, he's going to come out in...
You're right.
5th, 6th. And the safety car's in this lap already, so we're going to have a 2-lap shootout. And yeah,
this is a bad spot for Adri.
What is Hubali doing?
Pure luck.
So Hubali is a lapped car, it looks like. So VR Ultra will need to be careful. There's a lap car there.
Oh, Jair got so lucky jumping into the pit. I'm surprised he didn't get a penalty from it.
With how fast he did it?
No, he jumped over the line.
Oh, with a lot of speed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens here. Who gets the better jump?
Up by somebody who gets a better jump.
And they're back to green flag racing.
And Adri is going to maintain the position for the moment.
Yeah. Hones, I think he was caught out by that whole affair because he was in 3rd and now he finds himself in 5th. He's trying to make the move on Stroll.
Oh, and they make a little bit of contact.
And Adri stays ahead on those hard tires miraculously. The guys are racing so hard.
It's only a matter of time. Those soft tires have just so much more grip.
They do, but
and
he tries to place his car on the inside.
Yep. Can Adri pull off a miracle?
And I think MST fell back. I think MST may have gone off. So he's down to 10th at the moment.
And FaZe gets the job done on VRL Stroll.
And I don't think quite just
No,
yet.
what happened?
They're fighting it out. They're fighting it out. They're side to side. Renee picking up a time penalty. Let's go on board with Jer.
And he gets a huge run.
He gets a great launch out of that corner.
And
No
Adrian's
DRS.
going to go defensive.
Side by side. A little bit of
Yep, they make
contact.
a little bit of contact.
Oh, and Jer picking up a time penalty.
Oh.
He'll feel he was forced off there, so I'm sure the stewards will review.
Yeah. And he gets a way better exit. He's all over the
He does,
backside
but
of Adri.
there's almost nowhere to go here. I don't think Adri's doing anything wrong. He's
just making that car wide.
He's making it wide. There's a little bit of contact there. I think he might go for it. He thinks better of it. He tries to get a run on him here. He might dive down the inside. Adri giving him a bit of the squeeze. Adri giving him a bit of the squeeze.
Oh, and a little bit of contact.
Hones, though, is back up into P3, utilizing those soft tires. FaZe Bass falling back on those hard tires.
The inside.
He's not quite there, though. He's just not quite there.
Oh,
and a little bit of contact. A little bit of contact.
Tries to look around the outside.
Yeah.
He's going to go back down for the switchback.
But Adri gets a great drive out of the corner. Wow, it's going to be so close. A little bit of contact. Who's going to cross the line first? It's Adri. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So Jer falling down the order due to a 3-second time penalty. I'm sure he will put in an incident report with that. Man.
What a crazy last 2 laps.
What are we watching? NASCAR?
I don't know.
Not in terms of the contact. I mean, in terms of just like everyone jockeying to try to get the best run down the straight. That was incredible.
So crazy. I cannot believe Adri held on to P1. What a fantastic drive.
Well, I'm telling you, I thought that was the right move. It's tough to pass here. Wow.
I mean, just mere inches.
Wow. And some people here in the chat are like, inches, what are those, right?
It's usually miles.
Yeah, exactly. That was unbelievable. I thought, I had a feeling that those hard tires could be, he could make them work.
I do believe that Jer got a little bit too trigger happy. I think he could have easily made it work. But he also, too, got that time penalty.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if he picked up, I guess we'll have to see. I have a list of the incident reports here, or the incident list from the race director. So Jer, I don't believe he was down in 4th. Again, that will be reviewed, but our winner here today is Adri. Shout out to Hones and Steinlein having an incredible race. Fantastic. Renee, unfortunately, picked up a time penalty at the end of the race, and that always is such a... it's just awful to have at the end of the race, because with the safety car closing everybody up, even if you built up a 10-second gap to the car behind, now everyone's right on your tail.
Yeah. So tough day for Ren.
Yeah, tough day for Renault. Wow, what a race.
What a race. Yeah, what a race.
Yeah, I don't even know what to make of it, but everyone, thank you for... yeah. I was still trying to come to terms with what happened in our race.
I'm still trying to figure out what happened today. Like, what happened with anything?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. So that was round 5 here. We'll be back next week for round 6, Spain.
Can't wait.
Yeah, me neither. That'll be a good track for Ferrari and everyone else. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, T-Widow.